On me? What?
Got 3 of them left. Raazu, you're dodging, yes?
Yes.
Adrex, you were not dodging?
I am not dodging.
Okay. Raazu, I got a 7 to hit you.
Not quite.
Adrex, I have a 6 and a 12 to hit you.
Those just miss.
And some more sling bullets come firing from the ledge over here and just clatter on the ground around you. And that will bring us to my herbs, of which I've got 2.
Weird.
Raazu,
Hey.
I have a 10 to hit you.
Nope.
Adrex,
Yeah.
I have a 22.
Just hits.
Just hits. 5 points of bludgeoning damage as a dropped rock hits the calliope and clatters against Raazu's boots, and one of them crashes against the back of Adrex's head from somewhere far above. That's going to bring us to Adrex's turn.
All right. Stab some bees. First attack is a 15 to hit.
15 will hit.
All right, that is...
By the way, I have no provision for when they run out of bees, so as long as you leave some kobolds alive in this room to throw them down, you can just farm bees the whole rest of the session. I think they're worth about 5 experience each swarm.
Cool. That's 8 piercing.
Okay.
And 7 fire.
And that's enough for this swarm. It is no longer a swarm.
Can I attack the calliope?
You can, but with this little dagger, you're not sure how much damage you could do.
Even if I try to set it on fire?
It's mostly made of metal.
Oh, mostly made of metal?
Yeah. Mostly
Okay.
brass pipes and things.
Okay, well, that's not going to stop Adrex, so... That is a 22 to hit.
You poke with all of your might. You run your Famor through one of the brass pipes that's bellowing out this music, and you pierce a hole in it, but all that manages to do is make one of the notes of the calliope extremely high-pitched and whistly, as the steam is now coming out of this little hole you've poked rather than the top. And it makes the music so much worse than it was 2 seconds ago.
Thanks, Adrex.
Moving or staying put?
I have a third attack. I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
It's a 21 to hit.
And now even calling it music is an insult to language. It's like if 2 teapots were hate fucking.
See, aren't you glad you got that allegory? That's in your head now. 2 teapots fucking. Adrex will go in the doorway.
Cool.
Is that what you think an allegory is?
That wasn't the right word, but that was the word that popped into my head, so I just said it.
Raazu, I'm still looking for that crit.
Yeah, fishing for him. That I understand. I totally
I'm
understand.
looking for it. I'm gonna get there. I
Yeah,
have a 12 to hit,
go fish.
and I have a 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right. All right. Here's some damage for you. Nice damage numbers. 10 points of piercing damage. Plus 4 points of piercing damage. Plus 2 points of cold damage.
Ooh.
As one of these arrows rains down and strikes you in the arm, right? The same arm that you're using to hold this torch. And it's just frosty and it's real deep. And the singer continues, "One will die or all will die."
When do you get a rope and fall Put a rope down or something. Get us out of here. Get us under some cover.
I don't have
I'm
any
not even there
strings.
anymore.
It's Raazu's turn.
I'm going to stow the torch.
Okay.
I'm still carrying it, but it is now stowed.
Okay. Adrex, you
Over
can't see
here.
anything now.
I have my Famor. What are you talking about?
Oh, then that's the only light by which you see.
And I'm going to dodge right there.
Let's move to the other side and
Where I
dodge.
moved. Yeah.
It's pretty smart, thinking they'll still fire over here.
Basically.
Yeah, it's going to bring us back to Birdie.
Okay, we're going to cunning action dash, and we're going to try this again.
Okay.
That should be, so that's 5, 10, 15, and then this is 10. You said it would require 45?
32 feet from this ledge to this ledge. So you need 64 feet of movement to get all the way to the top.
I have 90, so
Yeah.
yes. Okay, I'm going to use my action to lower the ladder.
Okay, let me draw that out. And entering into this room, you see Windy is heading toward the other side of the room, where these two kobolds that up until a minute ago were very busy filling sacks with bees are now pulling daggers to prepare for their fight with Windy.
I mean, Windy will be fine. They're just kobolds. But I'm going to advance further into the room.
Okay.
Where are the exits? Like, where are the exits on the back wall? Like where they ran to before?
It's an excellent question.
I have 30 feet of movement, and I want to stand in front of one of them.
Exits are north,
Let me
south, and
refresh
Dennis.
The back corner of the room back here has a tiny crawl space with pegged walls, allowing you to climb upward.
Okay, I will stand in front of the...
Right in front of where the entrance is.
Yeah, just kind of blocking the way. Like, not directly underneath the hole,
Okay.
mind you.
Well, it's
Just-
it's not a hole in the ceiling. It's a crawl space that goes into the wall. Looking into the crawl space against the back of the wall, you can see where it's pegged against the back wall, making it easy to climb up.
Okay, I get you. No, okay, I'll just stand in front of it then.
All right. Instead of bees, these two kobolds in the room, which I guess I will move down into the room now because Birdie can see exactly where they are. They're drawing daggers this turn, so Windy will be able to see them when she's within 10 feet of them. That's going to bring us to... They're not doing bees. You hear the sounds of the ballista winching back and forth up top. And that brings us to red. So 32 feet of movement to get up this rope ladder.
And, okay, so as my action, I put the cat in my pack,
Okay.
climbing up the leg.
And it doesn't like this at all.
Alright, so that's 40, that's a cunning action dash. Do I have some cover from the side of the room here?
If you stay
Behind
in
this
this
wall?
windowed section, yeah, you don't have line of sight to the kobolds, nor they to you.
How big is this wall?
It's about 7 feet
Okay.
in, so just that first square, pretty much.
Yeah, I think that's the end of Red's turn.
Okay. Oh, Windy, I'm sorry. I need to apply some fire damage to you at the start of your last turn.
Wait, what?
2 points fire damage, because you're on fire. You walked into fire and got set on fire.
I didn't know I was still on fire.
Yeah, until you take an action to stop, drop, and roll.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not gonna be taking that action.
All right, then I'm
I
gonna
am just gonna be a horrifying fire demon for
take
this
my
entire fight.
I'm gonna take my reddest D6 and set it over here, and that's gonna be the special Windy D6 for a while.
Yeah, I'm gonna hug all of your kobolds.
So at least Adrex doesn't have to worry about light.
Does that mean Windy's punches do fire damage now?
Oh, you know what?
No, just Windy
Can I do
sustains
this?
damage. One of these kobolds is going to engage with Windy, the other with Birdie. Windy!
Oh, damn, it won't tint.
Are you sure? Because I just killed 2 of their friends and I'm on fire.
He doesn't have a choice. Like, his
That's
boss
fair.
told him, that's a high roll. I might actually hit you. Believe it or not. Turns into a 23.
That's a hit.
Nice. I'm going to get one shot on you with his dragon tooth dagger.
You best not miss. Bet kill me in 1 shot.
6 points of piercing damage,
Yeah.
plus 1 point of cold damage from the dagger.
Does he take fire damage?
No.
I see.
I appreciate all you guys' arguments on my behalf, though. I just want to let you know that.
I
Birdie,
got
You're not dodging, right?
no. I use my action to lower the ladder.
I have a 22 to hit you.
Well, that does hit me.
6 points of piercing damage.
Okay,
Plus
and I
1
will.
point of cold damage.
I will half the piercing damage if I can find my character sheet.
Well, you half it all as an aggregate because it's all from one damage source. So take the whole 7 and cut it in half.
So
2 damage types, but 1 damage source.
So it's the same way either way.
Yep.
But sometimes it won't be the same way. Sometimes it'll be damage. What if it was 10 cold damage instead of 1? Then you're shorting yourself.
I get you. No, I get you. I'm just saying. I was like, oh, that doesn't help me in this situation.
I would be way more excited about stealing their daggers.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. I am taking one of those daggers.
Those were my only... Oh, no, I do have one more kobold, actually. Raazu, you hear the sound of a sling bullet crash against the floor right here as the one remaining kobold thought that's where you were standing.
Yes.
And that's going to bring us to Wendy. Wendy, I have
Okay.
my special red die before you do anything.
Yeah.
1 point of fire damage.
Ah. And I'm going to whip that kobold.
Which one? Because they're both within... No, this one's...
The one
probably
that just
within-
stabbed me with that dagger.
Yeah, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's a crit.
Okay.
I think you destroyed that kobold.
I'm going to go ahead and give you credit for that one right now, but go ahead and feel free to roll the damage on it.
Yeah, you got it. No, it's not going to be that high. It's because most of my damage is pluses.
Nodal, these kobolds have single-digit max hit points.
Well, I did more than that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to whip him, take the dagger out of his hand, and throw it at the other kobold.
Okay.
With, do I want to be an asshole? Or do I want to do the smart thing?
Well, this
Do the
is
cool
actually
thing.
disadvantage because you're blind. You don't have anybody see him. He's not within 10
it
feet of you.
the-
He circled around you to go fight Birdie. And Birdie's way back.
Oh,
in the
I'll
corner.
head over there.
Okay.
And then I'll whip the kobold out.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I am going to do the cool thing.
I feel like the reason everybody has whips is because it's fun to whip the kobold.
It's really
That's
fun,
not
though.
true.
That's 18
18 will hit.
for... what's the... What do I do for the cold?
It's just an
D2.
additional D2 cold damage whenever you stab somebody with his dagger.
Alright, I'm going to take the bottom ones as 1. Okay, so that's 2. 5... 21 piercing, 2 cold.
That's enough. And now there's no kobolds left in this room to throw swarms down at you guys.
Alright, take that dagger back. I'm sharpshooter with this dagger. Sharp daggering.
And you're staying put there?
Yeah, I'm good here. No, actually, I'm gonna hop over across to this thing.
Over to this thing?
Yeah.
Alright. That is going to trigger a held action.
Nice.
Okay, let me get this guy's stat block in my scratch folder. I have one text file with all of the enemy stat blocks, and then I have another text file that I copy them over to when it's time to like start messing with their stats and stuff. I've been doing it this way for years. I'm sure there's more efficient ways to do it. Where do you land?
Right here.
What's this yellow thing you're carrying?
I'm on fire, I guess, is what that
Screaming
is.
Alpha? Okay.
Yeah, Screaming Alpha.
There are a couple of Urds up
Okay.
here, armed with rocks that you can sense as you fly past them.
Alright.
There is one kobold with a sling. And as soon as you land, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. DC is 13.
Rude. That's 20.
20?
Yep.
Okay. So basically the entire ledge out to here. Something crashes to the ground as soon as you touch down over here. And you hear the explosion as razor-sharp spikes are launched in every direction in about a 15 radius sphere. I need to give you some damage. Go ahead and take... That was a low damage roll. 9 points of piercing damage, which you can cut in half for passing the saving throw, and this area is now difficult terrain. This kobold here screams in pain and falls to the ground, and he writhes for a moment and moves no more. This Erd, I'm going to say he takes no damage, because he has part of his square that's not in the radius.
That's fair. I didn't take any damage either, so... And,
well, you took,
all right,
you took 4.
No, I have evasion.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And I'm gonna dodge to the side and flurry of blows. Kick this curd in the face.
Did you say
the one... Yeah, I'm gonna kick this curd.
Kobolds are made of cheese.
It's a kobold Erd.
All Erds are kobolds. You can't be a non-kobold Erd.
Oh, look at this barracks room lawyer here. Dungeon room lawyer. That's 26 to hit.
That'll hit.
Maybe their wings are made of cheese.
That's
for 8 slashing, magical, and a con save.
And no con save required. He's dead.
Oh, okay. And then I'll kick the other one.
Why don't we just hang out at the bottom and let Wendy take care of this?
I'll crit him.
Wait, where are you getting all these attacks from?
Flurry of blows.
Okay.
Don't worry, I did say flurry of blows. That's another 13 magical slashing.
Alright, he's dead too.
Alright.
And now you're just standing amidst these razor-sharp spikes.
Yeah, I remember getting shot with that ballista, so I'm going to go stand next to this wall instead. And I'm good.
So you're going to end your turn inside the razor-sharp spikes?
Is that a dangerous thing to do?
It's dangerous to fall prone here. If something happens and you fall prone while in the razor-sharp spikes.
I've heard tell that this square is partially outside of the circle.
Okay, so you're pressing yourself back up against the wall?
Yeah.
Hoping that the ballista does not have leverage on you.
Correct. That's my goal.
Bring us to...
While
I don't
on
have any
fire.
more Erds. While on fire.
While on
Adrex.
fire.
There's now a rope ladder that has been kicked down. I like that somebody went in and drew the rungs of the rope ladder.
Yeah, I appreciate
You're
that.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yes.
So it's 10
There's a
feet
rope
to
ladder
get
now.
through the brick wall. Start climbing up 20 feet, and then
Adrex.
dash.
Okay.
If you go up the ladder, it doesn't cost double movement because you're climbing the ladder.
Oh,
It's just 32 feet of movement.
All right. Oh, okay. Then Adrex would be up on the ledge because he's dashing.
There's no more kobolds in this room, and you see Birdie against the... He's actually back in this corner here.
Oh, everyone is killing things without me.
It's really rude.
Ugh.
Okay. Vindy. You're not dodging, right?
I am not dodging that.
Okay. And you are blind. And... I have a crit.
I prefer to think of it as the visually impaired condition.
All right, I prefer to refer to it as a crit and a 22 to hit.
Those will both hit.
Okay.
I have a feeling I will be using my reaction to not die.
I don't think I can kill you with this attack, but we'll see. We're going to take 10 points. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't roll the crit damage. I just rolled the actual damage. 12 points of piercing damage.
Alright, I'll reduce that one.
Well, this is all one arrow.
Oh, okay.
What did I say? 14 points?
You said
Plus-
12, but...
I said 12
14.
plus 14 points of piercing damage, plus 2
So
points
20.
of cold damage.
So 28?
12 plus 14 plus 2.
12 plus 14. So 28, okay.
28.
That's 8. Alright. I can tell you in a second how much I reduced that by, if you care.
I do care.
That is...
The world runs on simple math.
The world runs on simple math, and I hate it for it. 8 plus 12 plus 4 is 26. No, 24. So I just reduce it.
So how much damage do you take?
6. I think that added up to 30.
And from the second arrow,
Yeah.
6 points of piercing damage,
Uh-huh.
plus 4 points of piercing damage,
Uh-huh.
plus 2 points of cold damage.
Uh-huh.
As being on fire gives my archer perfect ability to aim at you, and he gets you with both arrows. Has that
It's
ever
like
happened
carrying
before?
a torch.
Like, have I ever hit you with 2 arrows in one round before? That might be a campaign first.
I don't like it, personally.
I enjoyed it a lot. That's going to bring us to Wendy. You have the same AC you just had, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. I have a 18 to hit you.
No.
You hear something crash next to your feet, and then the sound of like something spark out and then immediately die. Raazu,
That sounds bad.
you see this bright flash of crackling energy as something hits the ground here next to Windy, and you're not sure exactly what happened.
Okay.
That's going to bring us... I don't have any more swarms that I can use. That brings us to Razu's turn.
Okay, I'm going to dash up the ladder.
Okay.
So 5, 35, give or take some change. And then kind of just move into the room here. There's no other kobolds in here.
Lots of dead ones.
Alright, I can probably get about that far across the room after dashing.
Okay. On this end of the room, just to refresh everybody's memory, is that the shelves, all these strange sticks and sacks that kobolds were using to fill with swarms. The back wall is essentially their apiary. It's just this stone wall pigeonholed with thousands and thousands of little holes. This is where this loud buzzing sound is emanating from, as you leave the horrible whistling of the broken calliope behind.
Okay.
And that's the end of Razu's turn.
Yep.
All right, Birdie.
How big is this hole?
You have to squeeze into it.
I have to squeeze into it. Okay.
You have to squeeze into it, yes.
Wow. Okay. How much movement would that take to get to the end of there?
It costs twice movement to squeeze. And you're going to squeeze the whole way you're in this little tunnel. It's a crawl space. It's a
Right.
kobold-sized crawl space.
Well, I guess I'll start crawling through.
Okay, that triggers a held action. And go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage, because you are squeezing and don't have a lot of room to dodge around in here.
Dexterity saving throw. That is 5 plus 9. That's 14.
14. You do not save. For the full Monty, 20 points of fire damage, and you are on fire, and so is the whole part of the floor that you're in inside the crawl space and the 5 feet outside of it as well.
I'm going
Kobolds at
to...
the top of this shaft have been waiting for you to come up and tip over their burning hot coals and pitch into the bottom of the shaft, and you are very much on fire.
All right, so I'm going to uncanny dodge that down to 10.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my action to...
Does uncanny dodge work on saving throws, or does it have to be a weapon attack?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Or is it
Probably
phrased as
weapon.
source of damage. I forget which one it actually says.
When an attacker that you see hits you with an attack.
This was not an attack. This was
Okay.
This was a saving throw. So you're not
All right.
uncanny, nothing.
All right, that's fine.
Evasion would have applied though, because it was
Yeah,
a dex
yeah.
save, so you can cut it in half because of evasion.
Unfortunately, I'm not bullshit.
All rogues are bullshit. Come on.
I'm not as bullshit as I could be. So, I'm going to use my action to use the wand and create water to put all this fire out.
Okay, if you do that while you're in the shaft, you can put yourself out with the same action.
Yeah, that was the idea.
Very good. And I mean, you hear the singing and sniggering above you, and you're almost certain that more fire will be coming down pretty shortly. Looking up the shaft, however, how tall is it? That's an excellent, excellent question. Going up to area 5. It's not really... It's a 25-foot climb up this shaft, so...
Would it take 25 feet of movement?
Take 50 feet, because you have to squeeze the whole way.
All right.
And you see the opening... actually, no, you don't. There's no light source up there. But looking up, you can see where it does turn in one direction, but you're not sure if it's an opening or if it turns deeper into the wall.
Well, we're not going that way. So I will cunning action dash right here.
Okay, this ladder is also not here anymore. I just noticed that I drew that in black.
Yes, but we know it's there.
You know, yes, there's a ledge up here where there's a ladder. So Birdie sets himself on fire and then gives himself a shower. First shower I think he's had the whole campaign. And then thinks better of it and comes back around this ledge.
Right.
And that's the end of Birdie's turn?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have any swarms. And I don't have a good angle for the ballista. That's going to bring us to red. You're muted if you're trying to say anything to me.
Huh. So how much movement does it take to get from here to here, going through the back?
These are 5-foot squares. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 40. So about 45 feet of movement to come around and to Birdie Square.
Okay. So, and there is not like an additional ladder going up here, right?
There was a ladder going from a ledge up in this space here that nobody's examined yet, falling down to this floor, but it's not in place now.
Right.
This ledge is close enough that with a long jump, you could jump from this window to this ledge. You can long jump a number of feet equal to your strength score.
So 45, 60, cunning action dash.
The orange parts count as difficult terrain because of the
30. All right, so I can get to there on my turn.
Into the difficult terrain?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all of Red's actions.
Okay. Where are you?
Oh wait, you know what? No, I still have. That was just my cunning action. Let's examine this door for traps.
Okay. Looking at the door before you start looking for traps, they're heavy iron doors that block the entryway.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that they're hinged on the outside. They're meant to open outward. You also see great grooves in the floor. And without examining the mechanism closely, you can't be sure, but it looks as though the doors are paired, so they must open together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's go ahead and...
There's a heavy iron bar across the door, slotted through central grooves, preventing it from opening. This bar would have to be removed before this door could be opened. Mm-hmm. And on each side of the bar, you see a keyhole. The one you're standing here is adorned with a fist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to check that locking mechanism for traps then.
Go ahead and make a intelligence investigation check.
That would be an investigation of 26.
26. You get out your thieves' tools, and you start poking and prodding the keyhole, checking to see if it's trapped. And as you hold up your little probe, you feel a magnetic pull in the back of the keyhole.
Mm-hmm.
Who is whispering in my ear?
Do I think this would be get in the way of me trying to pick the lock if I used a metal lockpick?
It would be dangerous, but you're not sure why.
Okay.
Somebody's whispering. Who's whispering? I'm going to just say it was Nodal, and I'm going to put a check mark next to Nodal's name on the blackboard. Is that the end of Red's turn?
Yeah, that's all my actions.
Okay, it's going to bring us to kobolds.
I am also a kobold. Does that mean I get a second turn?
Nope. It does not.
Do you want single-digit max hit points?
Okay, those guys I can put on the board now because they're no longer holding an action.
Somehow
Yay.
I think that's racist.
And to bring us to Windy. Wendy,
All right.
take 3 points of fire damage.
And there was a problem in that there was no way to see up here, right? Because there was no light source.
Mhm.
Well, I'm a light source. Let's
Okay.
run up this wall.
You're gonna run straight up the wall.
They put spikes on the wall. You die instantly. No save.
Okay, let me check the height on that first. From 6 to... Okay. You run not quite 30 feet up the wall, and then crash as you hit headlong into the bottom of the platform.
All right, I'll flip myself over.
Well, first, you're going to take 16 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall.
From what fall?
From the fall. You're running up the wall, and you crash and fall down to the ground below
I
you.
can fly. All right. No, that's fine.
You can fly with wings. You can't fly magically. If you throw an eagle
All right.
into
No,
the
no,
ceiling,
it's fine,
it's going to tumble to the ground.
It's fine. All right. So, let's flap my way up there instead.
Okay. How much movement does that take? What are you up to now?
You said it was 30, right?
About 30 feet running up the wall.
All right, so another 30. I have 60 feet of flying speed.
Okay, drop yourself. Move your hand out of the way. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move these guys aside.
Uh-huh.
I don't know where all these guys
Oh,
came
by the
from.
way, I used my reaction to reduce that damage.
Okay. I'm gonna say 40 feet of movement to fly back up, because you're gonna have to test for the edge of this ledge.
All right, I'll step of the wind.
Okay. Where'd my orange guy? Just move my orange guy over here. Hold on. I'm losing my guys now. I must have accidentally deleted them. I'm gonna fix this though. It's gonna be wonderful.
There's an orange guy right here.
This is why we use Tabletop Simulator and not like Roll20 or something, because you can't make these kind of mistakes with Roll20.
Right.
You can only make
That's
these kind of
because
weird
this-
table mistakes with Tabletop or similar things. These guys I can get rid of. Okay. That's going to trigger 2 held actions,
Okay.
and you're blind and on fire.
I mean, if you want to be rude about it.
I kind of feel like on fire should be a condition, and it's not.
It's more like a state of mind.
It's more like a state of fire.
I have a 21 to hit you.
Yeah.
And a critical hit.
Uh-huh. She's on fire.
6 points of bludgeoning damage from the first sling bullet.
Okay.
And 6 points. I'm sorry, 8 points from the second sling bullet.
All right.
From somewhere off to your side, you get pelted by sling bullets as soon as you land on this platform. And there is a trapsmith up here as well. He is armed with a dragon-tooth dagger, a sling, and a sack of toys.
I don't approve of that. I'm gonna whip him.
Okay.
I don't like him having a sack of toys.
Wait, is this really Santa Claus? Are we playing Secret of Mana now?
He's dead. I don't care.
I always really hated that plot point in Secret of Mana. Like, it's literally actually Santa Claus.
I don't approve of Kobold Santa Claus.
It's like you open your gifts and they explode.
Exactly. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's the worst.
That's a 14 to hit and a 17.
14. Both of those will hit. Let's see if I still have a trapsmith by the end of this.
Let's find out.
The problem with not having enough kobolds, which is my position right now, is I don't get to make use of pack tactics as often.
That's true. But on the other hand, I am on fire.
Yes.
That's 22 magical slashing.
Okay. He is badly bloodied
Okay.
as you whip him good.
And that's it. That's all I got.
End of Wendy's turn. It's going to bring us to...
real quick though, just so I can try to get a little bit closer to these guys, I'm just going to be right here. But that's
it. Adrex, you're up.
Now what the hell am I supposed to do? All right. How much distance is going from here to here?
It's 5 feet between each of these windows.
So it's what, 15 feet to go wind up here?
20, because you're going 5,
20.
10, 15, 20, 25,
Right.
30 to get to that square.
Okay. Can I jump onto the ledge there?
How far can you jump?
I don't know.
You can jump a number of feet equal to your strength score.
Ah, my strength score is 20.
Yeah, you can
So I
easily
can
make
jump
that.
All right. Womp. And that costs an action, right?
No, that's just movement.
Cool. This is difficult terrain.
Yes.
Merp, merp.
You're making your way through the razor sharp spikes.
Ah, oh, ah.
You're wearing boots. Actually, you don't wear boots.
No, I don't.
Oh, you know what? This really sucks for you then.
Does it?
Yes, it does.
Does it really?
It really does.
All right.
If you're not wearing boots, because you're just in your bare feet.
Oh.
I won't apply the full damage. That doesn't seem reasonable. 4 points of piercing damage as you're stepping through these razor sharp spikes, piercing into the hard leather of your feet and toes.
All right.
And you end up next
John
to it.
McClane up in here.
This is less Die Hard and more Home Alone.
You can't make that the title either. Is that the end of Adrix's turn?
That is the end of Adrix's turn.
Okay.
Wait, are we the baddies?
No, we're not.
Wendy, you're not dodging, right?
I am not dodging, no.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm not firing at you. I'm firing at Red. Red, you're not dodging either, right?
No.
I probably don't hit you because I rolled like a butt. You got a 10
But nope.
and a 7.
Also a no.
As you focus your attention on opening this door, 2 arrows come zigging down at you, clattering on the floor next to you from high above. Wendy, you hear the whistling of the arrows go by you, and they sing close enough that you're almost certain you were not the intended recipient, and you can't figure out why. You're the person that's highest up in the shaft, you're the easiest person to see. For some reason, they're shooting someone below you instead of you.
I find that offensive.
And do you find that offensive?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay. We're going to Hail Mary here. He does not get advantage because he's within 10 feet of you and he's armed with a weapon. He's not attacking with his weapon, but he is armed with it. Probably not going to hit. Also, his strength is terrible. It's only -2. That's not terrible for a kobold. Wendy, I have a 16 to hit.
Nah.
You hear a clatter as this trapsmith drops his dagger to the ground and launches himself at you, shoulder first, trying with all of his might to crash into you and knock you backwards over this platform. You position yourself to absorb the blow, and his last-ditch effort to send you reeling did not happen. That's going to bring us to... actually, he's got movement, and he's terrified and panicked. He cannot disengage, so that gives Wendy an attack of opportunity.
Alright, I'm gonna whip him.
Okay. Of course, if you whip him and kill him, you will never find out where he was trying to go.
That's true, but on the other hand,
To hell with this guy.
Wait, what was on the other hand? I missed that.
I threw my die.
Okay.
Yeah.
If a kobold comes along, you must whip it.
That has to stop. We need to not, please. How much damage?
That's 12 magical slashing.
Okay, and when he throws his shoulder at you and realizes that you're not going anywhere, you stand your ground. You feel as he circles around you, pressing himself against the wall, and you just get your whip out and cut him down. And he is no more. Okay, that was my Trapsmith. Going to bring us back to Raazu.
15 feet gets me to the edge here. 16 feet, 16 strength score good enough to clear this gap.
Yes, easily.
Okay. I'm guessing that's going to take the rest of my movement there.
You're wearing boots, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to pull an Adrex. Do you guys
No,
have
but I am
sand
gonna-
spurs where you live?
Yeah.
In the grass?
Well, when I was a kid, yeah.
Yeah, I hate those things.
Those things are the worst.
That's what's happening.
I'm going to
here.
dodge right here where I'm at instead of trying to cross the difficult terrain for now.
Smart. It's going to bring us to Birdie.
Birdie peeks out up. Like, is this? Could I? How? If I climb the wall here, how much movement would it take?
Between 4 and 7. This is the first time anybody's actually looked up from this area.
I mean, there's a giant flaming beacon up there, so.
From 4 to 7 is 20 feet, but you also have to climb a little bit horizontally. That's a 20-foot climb. From 4 to 5, looking above you, you see this metal track along the wall, basically, where this giant ballista is mounted. And it's aiming down as far as it can, but it just can't get an angle on most anybody.
So this is the track?
This 5 is the track here. And you see it takes 2 kobolds to work it. One of them is using a crank to move and aim the ballista. The other one is cranking furiously to move it back and forth along this track.
Okay, so I have 45 feet of movement. Is that enough to get up here?
It takes 20... yeah, you need 40... I'm going to say you have to climb 25 feet to get from 4 to 7. Because you got to climb
so
20 feet up and 5 feet over.
Okay, so cunning action, dash to get up here.
And when you get up here, all along this back wall, you see this is where all the ballista ammo is stored. Supposedly, there needs to be people up here whose job it is to arm the ballista, and there was until a minute ago when Windy whipped him to death. Also, in this corner right here, next to where Windy's standing, is a rolled-up rope ladder that can be pushed down to 6.
Okay, first question:
Yes.
Can I Windy has to use an action? Can I pat Windy out with put
If
the
you
fire out?
spend your action, yes.
Okay, I will spend my action to put Windy out before she burns to death.
Windy,
we don't,
Birdie's getting real handsy all of a sudden.
we don't need no fried chicken in here.
That's probably racist, but I'm not sure why.
Oh, was I on fire?
Yeah, you're on fire.
And all
Sorry,
of her
I'm blind.
beautiful white plumage is now blackened with soot.
They'll come right out.
And I'm going to move back over here in the corner.
Okay, so you're not kicking down the rope ladder. We're leaving that alone.
Well, I mean, unless I can do that without another. If I can do it without an action, then
Yeah,
yeah.
that's just a use an item interaction. You just have to throw your foot out and kick it before you move.
Yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll just move right here, actually, and I'll draw the ladder in. Because
Oh, okay. I'll go ahead. I wouldn't want to step on your toes. Okay, that's going to bring us to...
Oh, convenient.
Excellent. I got a 50-50 shot at this. Well, a 50-50 shot to be allowed to make a ticket roll. Red.
Mm-hmm.
I have... You're not dodging, are you?
No.
I have a 20 to hit you.
Yep.
It's not a critical hit, just a 20.
Just regular type.
15 points of piercing damage. As Birdie, you watch as this ballista has been waiting the entire combat, and it wrenches itself up a couple of notches and lets loose. The arrow flies down to this platform and impales itself into Red. Red, you suddenly feel a shudder in your pack and a trickle of warm urine soaking through the back of the leather. The good news is these guys now do not have any ammunition and nobody to reload them, and they're beginning to panic, and it looks like they're going to make a break for it.
I'll uncanny that.
Okay. Yeah, I would. That brings us to Red's turn.
Alright, so Red has a degree in electrical engineering established. Can I attempt to pick this lock with a wooden...
It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Is Red trained in Arcana? No. It's just Birdie and Adrex, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's definitely something magical going on with this lock. Without any Arcana training, you couldn't be sure what. With a wooden pick, though, you can be certain of not triggering whatever magnetism you were feeling a minute ago.
Yeah, that's what I want to try and do. So if you want to tell me some sort of penalty for using a suboptimal tool, let me know.
Just roll your Dex Thieves Tools check at disadvantage, because you're basically using a toothpick.
Yep. Or
a Q-tip, or whatever. Or one of those little, like, plastic milkshake spoons, like the really thin ones.
So that comes out to a... that's only an 18.
An 18? You're probing inside the lock, not really expecting to pop the lock from this side, and you feel inside where there's tension, where you could lift the lock, and you're able to, and you feel the spring back and forth. But looking at the other side of the door, what's going on here is you'd need somebody at the other side, either with the key or picking with similar tools to trip the lock on both sides at the same time. So doing this with wooden tools will work, but you're going to need two of you working at it.
Birdie, get down here!
Birdie yells back, "No, I don't have shoes on!"
Is that the end of Fred's turn?
I'll give Wendy advantage on her first attack against this.
Okay.
That's the end of Fred's turn.
Fortunately, the kobolds get to go before Wendy does. And let me double check here. Yeah. How much movement do they have if they dash? Because they're getting the hell away from Wendy, that's for sure.
I'm just picturing them with like one of those like dumbwaiter cranks just going.
You guys watch. No, they abandon the ballista entirely, and they move along this metal track. Birdie, this track looks long enough that you would have no difficulty running back and forth along it, but anybody bigger than you would, because it's very narrow to the wall. And these kobolds do. They abandon their post. They dash to this side of the wall, and you see them begin to do something at this wall. Like, you see them kneel down and begin to work at something here. Birdie, make a wisdom check.
That is... I think it's a 14.
14.
Yeah, 14.
If you were a betting kobold, you would figure that the crawl space in this room opens up into a crawl space at the end of this track, given where they're running to.
For future reference, Birdie is not a betting kobold. He is very risk averse.
Okay, we'll leave that. Wendy, you're up.
Alright. I'm going to kick off of Birdie and run along this wall to go take out these guys.
Okay, it's going to require... Are you running along the wall, not the track?
Right.
You can't stand on
the wall.
The
track is very thin. That sounds risky.
You can't stand on the wall at the end, though. You can easily stand on the track, though.
I'm just going to whip them as I go by and then pop off and fly my way down here.
Okay. Wait, fly your way down where?
To where Red and Co are.
Right now I still see you on the wall.
Well, I'm whipping them, and then I'm going to jump off.
Okay.
And then glide back toward the platform.
Yeah. Although, actually, I think I'm going to cipher bonus to glide over to Birdie. What? That's a 25 to hit.
Okay.
And a way higher number.
Both of those hit.
Oh, nice. First one is 12 magical slashing.
Okay.
Does that take out a kobold?
Yes. These are just.
And then 15 magical slashing on the other.
Yeah, that also does it.
And then I'm gonna kick off the wall and glide back over to Birdie.
Okay. And you have the movement for that?
Uh-huh.
How much movement did that take?
I don't know, but I have 60 feet.
Nodal, you gotta measure your movement.
I can't. There's not enough. There's no squares.
Listen, I'm often trusting you to tell me that you have enough movement, but if you don't measure it...
The vertical lines below the track are 5 feet apart.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Great. Fantastic.
What this is telling me is that you're not actually measuring your movement out. You're just saying, "Oh, I'm a monk. I have
am
infinite
anytime
movement."
that there's not a horrible line here. I assumed you would warn me.
Nodal.
Anyways,
I have a lot of work to do as a DM. It's the player's
listen,
job
Rick
to
Road.
do your own work.
I can promise you that I am doing it any time that there are squares.
You have to do it every time, even when there's not squares.
Then I just have to use magic.
No, you have. Come on.
Anyways, I will key point to Step of the Wind to make sure that I have.
How much movement does it use?
Oh, jeez.
We just
70? 70 feet?
Okay. Part of playing a bullshit character is you have to have a lot of rules to take care of to keep track
It's not the
of.
rules. It's the lines.
Is that the end of Wendy's turn?
Yeah.
So to be clear, these are 5-foot squares.
Yeah.
So this is 5 feet. So you can
Yeah.
be assured that there's a 5-foot square here.
Uh-huh.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. This track is 45 feet long.
Got it.
Okay?
Uh-huh. I've now I know. I'm all set.
Adrex, you're up.
Red.
Yeah.
Why isn't the door open?
We have to pick both locks at the same time, and they're probably magicked. Using a wooden tool seems to be safe.
Can I just break through it?
You can.
I don't think so. Did you get a good look at this?
No, looking at this door, Adrex, there's this heavy iron bar set in these central grooves along the door, and at the edge of this bar, locked in place. So these keyholes are not going to open the door itself. What they do is they open these little traps so you can then remove the bar. And that's what Red's trying to pick right now.
Get Birdie down here.
Birdie, get down here.
Maybe clear some of those spikes with your cloak or something.
Birdie yells back, "I don't have shoes!"
Neither do I, and I'm fine.
Did you
No,
just
you're
the
not.
ladder?
As Adrex takes damage to go climb the ladder.
Yeah, you're going to go ahead and take 2 points of piercing damage in your feet.
Okay. I told you I'm fine.
Suck
Wendy
it
was
up,
on
Birdie.
fire. Did you see that? That was really awesome. She just stayed on fire.
You're climbing all the way to the top?
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
It's
When you
like
get to the top,
20
Wendy's holding her hand out.
From 6 up to 7 is
20 feet, I think you said.
27 feet.
Yeah. So Adrex will dash.
It's 7
to-
feet up to 4, then 20 feet from 4 to 7.
Adrex will dash to get all the way up.
Okay?
He said 27.
Yeah, 27 feet.
Don't make me throw you over the ledge.
And Adrex, when you get... You're carrying your torch, right?
The Faymore, yeah.
Oh, the Faymore, okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you get up here, you see the ballista ammo against the back wall, but there's no kobolds left to arm the ballista, which is kind of winched into position right over here. And does that end Adrex's turn?
That ends Adrex's turn, yeah.
Okay. Red, you're not dodging, correct?
No.
All right.
I am not. That is correct.
Okay, it's going to be a 11 to hit you?
Nope.
And a 17.
That is my armor class.
He is out of his awesome Archer's Eye ability. 10 points of piercing damage, plus 1 point of cold. As an arrow comes sailing down from above.
Did I get my turn since the ballista shot?
Oh, you did not.
Yeah, okay.
My apologies. Feel free to take it.
Oh, was I supposed to get my turn?
You were supposed to, yeah, because you're right here. in
Okay,
front
well,
of
I'm
the
gonna that answers the question that I can in fact uncanny that, which is
Okay.
the important thing. I mean, I'm just waiting down here for Birdie anyway, so I guess I would have been dodging if in that case.
Okay, then no arrow hits you, as 2 of them
Okay.
clatter against the door that you're worrying at. My apologies. That's
That's
what
fine.
happens when you mute yourself regularly. I forget you exist. Did you do anything but dodge, or are you just waiting for Birdie to come down?
Just waiting for Birdie.
Okay. Birdie, there's still one archer up there firing arrows down and he's seeming to fire them mostly down in this area. Although it's more difficult now because now there's no longer a light source down there. I don't have a trap smith. That's going to bring us to Raazu.
Okay, before I take my turn, I can't let something go. Birdie said that he is not a betting kobold. I seem to remember Birdie winning a pool based on how many lashes a kobold can take before he passed out.
That's really grim.
That's also that's not betting. That's not a betting. I have insider knowledge. That's insider trading.
So it's not a risky bet, is what you're saying.
Why shouldn't I use my action to pick up Birdie and throw him off of this ledge?
Because I would probably die.
He would land prone in the razor-sharp spikes, which means he would take extra damage.
Raazu very pointedly is like, she's about to shove Birdie toward the rope ladder. It says, "Get down there and give him a hand."
Birdie starts clapping. Very sarcastically.
Is that Raazu?
What's your AC, What's Birdie's AC?
Really? Are we doing this again?
Raazu, what are you doing? What's your action?
I am going to dodge here.
It's going to bring us to Birdie.
Like, I don't have any boots.
Get down there.
Okay, is there any way I can spend extra movement to step through this without taking the damage?
Sure, if you spend 4 times the movement to get through a square instead of 2 times.
Alright, so that's 20. So I have... Well, that'd be like 20. So we'll say that's 30 feet of movement, and then... So I have an extra 15 plus 45... 60 feet of movement, so... 4... 20, 40, 60. I can't get through it without taking damage.
That's fine. Just start moving that direction.
Birdie starts tiptoeing across the razor-sharp spikes. How much movement did that take to get to the door?
I got it here, and then I had to take, like, regular movement here.
Okay, well, you're going to take some damage then.
Right.
6 points of piercing damage. As one of the most razoriest of the spikes slits across your right heel.
Birdie...
After all that tiptoeing...
Yeah, no, I basically just scream. I start talking about Raazu's mother in Kobold.
Please scream, because that gives my archer above a really good idea of where to fire at. Standing here, though, looking at this side of the little latch that comes down holding this bar in place, you see the keyhole, and this one is adorned with an axe, a double-bladed axe.
Okay, well, I'll hold an action to help open the door when it's Red's turn.
Okay, do you have wooden lockpicks?
No. Unless they just come standard in the lockpicking tools kit.
That
doesn't strike me as something that a normal person would carry.
Yeah, for some reason in my mind I'm like, yeah, that's something that Red would have, but I don't know what Birdie would. I'll leave it up to you if you have such items or not.
Like, I probably have something laying around that I could use. Like in my Tinker's kit or something.
Like in my mind, Red is just Batman. He has a belt with like shark repellent in it.
I do. That's the space he...
So you're preparing to pick this lock with Red. But
right.
You don't have an action to do it yet, correct?
Like, I'm just holding an action to do it with Red, yes.
Okay, I have no lair actions remaining.
So you've readied an action that when I try and pick my lock, you'll pick your lock, right?
Right.
Oh, so you didn't use your action to get across the spikes?
No, I cunning actioned.
Gotcha. Then yeah, that brings us to Red's turn.
Alright, let's try and pick this lock.
Right, let's get a Dex Thieves Tools check from both of you, made at disadvantage because you are using toothpicks.
Well, I rolled a 1, so...
I rolled a pair of 14s.
So yeah, picking the lock with this tool is difficult enough because you're being very careful to not break it, And at the same time, synchronizing with the other person on the other side is also incredibly difficult. Essentially, you have two sources of disadvantage here. Red, are you moving or staying put?
Let's see on the Red's turn.
Okay, it's going to bring us to my kobolds. Calculate some movement. Where did I move them to? Because I don't want to forget that I have them, because this is going to be really funny. That's going to bring us to Wendy's turn.
Alright. I am going to... So how, Brick, what's the distance on this?
From 7 to 8?
Yeah.
Wendy doesn't know because she's blind. You don't even know there's anything up there.
So, can I... Well, I guess I'll just be more careful about it this time.
Okay.
What's the best way to model that? Me attempting to find out if there's something up there.
Half speed.
Okay.
You can wall run at half speed.
So what do you want me to burn at half speed?
Well, where are you moving up? Like, which square are you leaving from this platform?
I'm gonna leave from here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna attempt to flap my way up here.
So you're flying up?
Yeah.
Okay. You fly up about from 7 to 8.
Because I want to mark it on the map, the actual number, and then I'll take out double that.
Almost 50 feet.
Okay.
Ooh.
How
So
high, how high
feet.
up do you fly? Because you don't reach any impediment from that height. Because you're just flying straight up from here.
I'm probably just going to, like, essentially just...
Oh, actually, no. Belay that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When you get up this high, you start to feel wind drafts.
Okay.
Because you are up above platform 8 now. So you're aware that platform 8 is here.
Yeah.
And that it does not connect to this back corner. But the shaft does continue up higher than that.
All right. I'll land on platform 8.
Okay.
And so that was 50 feet, so 100 feet?
That was 50 feet to get you... It was actually 47 feet to get you up there. We'll call it an even 50 because you have to flap over to this square.
Sounds good. So I had to step at the wind to do that for 100 feet.
I would like to remind all of our viewers at this time that as an old school D&D player, I despise running anything on a grid. And always have.
And
this
I'm
is
going to
exactly
open up
why.
this door.
So you grab hold of the door.
Yeah.
It feels like it would push inward, but something is barring it from the other side. Rattling it a bit. Well, it's too heavy to rattle, but when you push on it, you feel it's got a heavy bar keeping it from being opened.
All right, and I'll burn my last movement and try this door as well.
Okay.
1, 2. Yeah, I'll burn my last movement and try this door as well.
I get to roll at advantage. Go ahead and make a strength athletics check. You might have to roll high. I actually didn't do terrible at that.
I rolled fairly poorly, so that's a 7.
You throw some weight into this door, and you open it just a crack, just enough to see the gang of kobolds on the other side pressing outward. You hear them in there. Quite a lot of panic in their voices, but you're not able to open the door against the whole gang of them.
All right, and I'll let that door close, and I'll just wait here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
That's going to bring us to... I don't have any more Urds. It's going to bring us to Adrex.
Killed anything. This sucks.
You killed your feet. The soles of your feet. Oh, Raazu and Adrex, you can see pegs on the wall in this area here, allowing you to easily climb up to the track.
Okay.
So you can climb up to the track without expending extra movement.
This terribly thin track where I'm sure if the slightest breeze would push Adrex over and plummet to his death.
Probably not. Like you're not in danger of falling over. It's just you can't move quickly across it. You're no more in danger of falling off of this ledge as you would be fighting on this square of this platform.
And this ledge leads to a kobold-size hatch, right?
Crawl space, yeah.
Birdie
space.
surmised that. I don't know if Adrex knows that or not. You did see 2 kobolds running across this track, and now they're not there anymore.
Alright, let's peg up and go on this track. Let's investigate this ballista.
Investigating the ballista, it's attached to this track on these great gears, and you see where one set of controls, it has 2 seats welded onto it, shaped for kobold-sized butts. So one guy's job is to operate the controls, which can move the ballista, aiming it left and right, and give it some pitch. It would be impossible to fire a ballista arrow straight down along the wall, though. However, it has a pretty good spread over the entire bottom shaft area, which you can't see from up here. But if the pink light was there, you would be easily able to fire at anybody there. The other guy's job using the other controls is to winch it back and forth along this track, along great chains, dragging it underneath.
Huh.
The ballista is currently unloaded.
Currently unloaded. Okay. Can I get a clear shot on the door, you think, if I move it along the track?
This door here?
Yeah. And fire a ballista arrow at it?
So the first difficulty with that is Adrex is not proficient with this weapon.
What?
So
really?
you'd be able to roll the hit, but you wouldn't add your proficiency bonus to the roll. Second difficulty is you can't see the door. Even if you had dark vision, it'd be too far away. But yeah, you totally could. If you find a way to overcome those 2 things. If one of these guys
Raazu,
struck a light, you could see it.
Alright, Raazu, bring up an arrow. I have an idea.
Is that the end of Adrex's turn?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to shoot Adrex.
Okay.
I get advantage on this because...
Do you now?
Actually, no, I'm going to give you... Well, I get advantage, but you get partial cover because the ballista is going to be situated underneath this ledge.
Okay. How much does partial cover give me?
+2.
+2? All
I
right.
got an 8 to hit you. That was a bad roll.
Does not hit.
And I got a 25 to hit you.
I got to check.
You got to check.
You know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nope, that hits. Yep. Right. 25.
For 6 points of piercing damage. Plus 1 point of cold. As an arrow comes down from above. Windy, this... You again hear the whistle of this arrow. It wasn't intended for you, but the archer must be above you somewhere. You hear the flap of his wings as he's circling out, launching arrows downward and then circling back.
I really don't want to take that 1 cold damage.
You have to.
It's just a matter of principle.
Rapsmith, that's going to bring us to Raazu. You've been instructed to bring Adrex a ballista arrow.
Adrex prefers to think of it as asking.
And he said he had an idea.
Okay.
You're muted. We can't hear you.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, no, Raazu would normally not truck with this nonsense, but she really can't do much of anything at the moment. So, she'll play along with Adrex.
Okay. You carry over some ballista arrows. You stack them up next to the track. You climb one up and hand it off to Adrex. Neither of you know how to work this device. I'm going to say it's going to take 1 action. Raazu, you have not used your action yet. To figure out how to get this thing loaded, and then another action to aim it. And both of you can work this together, even though your butts are too big for the seats.
Yeah, then I will do that. I will load the ballista.
I made sure to put a little asterisk in my notes because I knew you assholes were going to get on my ballista. So
Raazu was on a firing with it on a ballista on the Deceit a long time ago, so maybe she's had a little bit of experience with
You've shot one, but unless you've taken... I guess they didn't actually give any kind of proficiency for siege weapons. in the books. Maybe
No.
Xanathar has stuff for that, but no, neither of you are proficient with this weapon.
Okay.
Is that the end of Raazu's turn?
Weird for a fighter not to be proficient in a weapon.
It's weird for a fighter to not be proficient in a personal weapon.
I
It's
feel,
not weird
I
for
feel
a fighter
like
to
I've
not be
seen it
proficient.
under like the tools and vehicles proficiency, like a.
I was
Siege
just
weapons.
bullshitting.
Anyway, yeah, that's going to complete Razu's turn.
It literally just now occurred to me that I don't know of any provisions in the player's handbook to give players proficiency with this sort of weapon. So, I mean, if there's interest, I'll look into it and come up with something.
I don't know if it's going to come in handy after this.
I'm gonna take Ballista as a Kensei weapon.
Well, your Kensei weapon has to be a simpler martial weapon, doesn't it?
Alright, you killed the joke. Thank you, Rickroad.
So we're tearing this thing off the track and bringing it with us. Is what I'm.
Birdie, you're up.
Okay, where am I? I'm gonna hold an action to do the same thing again.
Okay.
If Red wants to continue on with this.
All right. I have a...
Is Adrex plan to fire the ballista at the door?
Wendy.
Yes.
A light source would help down there.
Wendy, I need a
Yeah.
strength saving throw.
Strength save? I'm actually proficient in strength saves.
I should hope so. Aren't all monks proficient in strength saves?
Yeah,
They are.
Nice.
Oh.
that's a 24.
As you're rearing up for another push against this door, thinking, I'm not letting no kobolds get the best of me, you suddenly feel the floor beneath you rock and pivot violently. You manage to keep your feet, but only just. And you become aware that these ledges are not attached to the wall at any points.
What?
That's
That's just unlikely. Birdie, I blame you for this.
Red's turn.
Let's try this
Red,
again.
we need to...
Yeah.
It's your turn when we come back from break, but my dog
Okay.
is actually going crazy in the other room, so we're going to go ahead and take our break here. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. Go ahead, get your coffee, get your bagel. We'll reconvene at about 4:55.